This is the LG G7 and this is the LG V40. Both are LG flagships from 2018, and since they are both from the same company, they both have similar designs, with a notch on the top and a chin on the bottom, as well as a rear fingerprint scanner. The logos are both in the same place, glass on the front, glass on the back, as well as metal on the sides. The LG G7 and LG V40 both feature Google Assistant buttons, which you press to get Google Assistant, or double press to get Google Lens. Both are non-room mappable, although they can be turned off. The LG G7 and LG V40 do, however, have some key design differences. The LG G7 has a 6.1-inch display, whereas the LG V40 has a 6.4-inch display, which of course affects the dimensions of the phones. The LG V40 also has a slightly higher screen-to-body ratio, having a smaller chin. The notches on both the LG G7 and LG V40 are both the same size and shape, even though the one on the LG V40 has 2 cameras and the one on the LG G7 only has 1. There is a similar situation on the backs of the phones, where the LG G7 has a dual camera, whereas the LG V40 has a tri-camera setup. The G7 also has a vertical camera setup, contrary to the usual horizontal camera setup that we're used to seeing from LG. LG switched back to this with the LG V40, and again with the LG G8 and V50 from this year. The LG G7 also uses a design where the sides of the phone are curved, while the top and bottom are flat, whereas the LG V40 is equally curved on all sides, which may not seem like a big difference, but you would realize that this makes a major difference to the look and feel of the smartphone. The LG G7 may be a little bit more slippery, whereas the V40 may be a little more grippy. Both the LG G7 and the LG V40 have 1440p HDR displays. The main difference that you'll notice is that the LG V40 has an OLED display, while the LG G7 has an LCD display. Here is a display test meant to show the advantages of OLED, and you'll definitely notice that the LG V40 has much deeper blacks. However, these differences will be much more noticeable if we turn off the lights. The OLED display of the LG V40 also means that it has much more vivid colors than the LCD on the LG G7. A pattern that you'll notice when comparing pictures taken on the LG G7 to those taken on the LG V40 is that the LG G7 tends to use warmer colors compared to the cooler ones used on the LG V40. The LG V40 also tends to have a wider field of view on the main camera, and tends to take sharper pictures with more detail. The LG G7 comes with a dual camera with a standard and a wide-angle lens. The standard lens has an aperture of f1.6 and the wide-angle has an aperture of f1.9. Both have 16 megapixel resolutions. The LG V40 has a tri-camera with a standard telephoto and wide-angle. However, the standard and telephoto ones on the V40 are actually 12 megapixels instead of 16 megapixels. The standard also has a wider aperture than the LG G7 of f1.5, although the telephoto has an aperture of f2.4. The telephoto lens tends to take blurry pictures and overall isn't a very big advantage over the LG G7. However, the lower resolution combined with a larger sensor allows for larger pixels of 1.4 microns compared to 1 micron on the LG G7 for the main camera, which gives the LG V40 major advantages in low light. Both the LG G7 and LG V40 come with special low light modes, although the LG V40's low light mode requires more light to activate it. Even when comparing it with the night mode off to the LG G7 with its night mode on, the LG V40 still takes brighter pictures. Here are both of the phones compared in video at 4K at 30 frames per second, the sound switching between the two. And here they are compared at 4K 60, which should be a little bit less steady. Here's the stabilization compared on the LG G7 against the LG V40, first at 4K 30 frames per second, and now at 4K 60. You cannot switch to the wide-angle camera while recording video, and can only record video with the wide-angle camera through using the manual video option. Here is video using the telephoto camera on the LG V40. Here is a test of the autofocus capabilities of the LG G7, and now the LG V40. And here they are side by side. The LG G7 and LG V40 both have the same Snapdragon 845 and therefore are about the same speed. However, later on into this test, the LG G7 does begin to slow down, due to this being the 4GB of RAM, 64GB of storage option. The LG G7 also came in a 6GB of RAM, 128GB storage option, which would be at an additional cost. However, the LG V40 only came in a 6GB of RAM, 128GB storage option, which of course is the one being tested here. The LG G7 and LG V40 both have similar feature sets. Both of them have Qi wireless charging, as well as IP68 water and dust resistance. The LG G7 and LG V40 also have a feature built into the speaker, where if you put it on a flat surface, it can amplify the sound through the surface, and the speaker will be louder. I will now compare the sound on the LG G7 to the LG V40, both in my hands and on the desk. The premium audio experience also extends to headphones. Both the LG G7 and LG V40 have headphone jacks with a 32-bit quad DAC. The LG G7 and LG V40 both have very similar software. Both are on Android Pie with LG Skin. Both only just got Android Pie this year and are unlikely to get Android 10 anytime soon. LG does, however, have a tendency to give updates to the V series before the G series, since the V series is released later in the year. The LG G7 and LG V40 pretty much have the same software features and only have a few minor aesthetic differences, the main one being the new camera app on the LG V40, although even that is relatively similar to the one found on the LG G7. Thank you for watching. Be sure to like this video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you want to see more videos like it.